This video will be about video games. I will not tell you if they are good or bad or right or wrong. I will just tell you my opinion. I mean my experience, because my opinion would be good or bad. Of course, I cannot avoid to talk about what I think and what I feel, but I want to make it as objective as possible, because most videos are just telling you they are bad, don't play any more video games. I don't like that other people are telling you what you have to do. I would like that you are using more your own thoughts, and that will be about me today, the video. I used to play video games for all my life actually. Since I'm able to think, I get in contact with video games. When I was like 4 or 5 years old, I remember my first time watching my brother playing World of Warcraft. I didn't understand what they're doing, what is happening. I just watched the screen and I was catched immediately. And it looks like so much fun, all these colors and these sound effects and everything. Interaction with other players. Didn't take too much that I could start playing my own video games, my first ones, because my brother was like 10 years older than me, so he was like, no, even 15 years, so he was like 20, 22, and he let me play sometimes on his computer. And luckily he did, because I get so addicted as a kid. My mother always tried to stop me playing video games, but I play so much, so much. I remember being in the first grade, entering school, and I could just think about video games. And I couldn't focus, I didn't want to focus on any other thing. I remember when other classmates want to socialize with me, but I prefer to don't talk to them, to ignore them, and to just think by my own about video games, to be quiet in the bus. I mean, we're going to a place to swim with the class, and I'm being quiet, sitting in the bus, and just think what I will do when I'm at home to play video games, what I will do, and who I will beat the boss, for example. Because I play too many different video games. I used to play Warcraft 3, Torchlight 1 when I was a kid. I used to play Minecraft, a lot of Minecraft in my younger times. Well, it was more standard. Anyways, the point is I used to play a lot. I never felt like I'm a stupid kid, but I just didn't care. I just didn't care that much. I didn't care about school, about classmates. I just care that I can play video games at home. And I remember I wanted so bad to don't go to school to play video games. And I was trying to convince my mother to don't send me anymore to school, and I can help her at home, and I don't want to go to school because I hate it so much. And luckily I went to school, and I never could imagine I would say it, but I'm happy I went to school in the end of the day, because I learn English. I hate English, and I used to hate it and I still hate it. I mean, now not that much anymore because I can speak it a little bit, but I mean, I'm a German, just for context, but I used to hate English so much, but it was the reason why I could meet my partner. So the point is, the video games almost stopped me from learning English, because I mean, even though you think video games in English, you can just play some games in English, well, if there was a game which I could just speak in English, I didn't play the game because it was too hard to learn a language or whatever. So in other words, I learned very early to appreciate the comfort, the comfort zone of playing video games, to don't do any hard thing. I even had problems with to bring the trash outside, and my biggest enemy was in these times my mother, because she always was trying to stop me playing video games. I remember that I break in the house of my brother. I mean, he was at work, and he had like a little hole where he could throw his wood. And we were kids, and I remember that I went through this hole, and went to the entrance door of my brother's house, to open the door, that my cousin, my sister, they were all in my age, that they could enter, and we were playing video games. My brother had like 4 or 3 computers, and we were playing all video games. My brother came back from work and he got angry because we just break in his house to play video games, because we used to live so near to my brother. But sorry, I cannot. First of all, I'm sorry I cannot explain that nice to you the stories because I'm not a native English speaker. But the point is that everything in my life was based on video games. Everything was what I did was because of video games. I remember it was on a Christmas time that my brother, when we were, because we always were with my brother's house because we could always play video games with him. He allowed to us, but he make a hard rule. We need to play with normal toys like of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, with Ninjagos, with Hero Factories, with Gomitis. I think you know these things, but maybe not. Anyways, the point is, we used to play with toys which were popular at this time, and I remember it was boring for me to play with this. And he was like, well, you are forced to play with this for 2 hours until you can play a normal game on the computer again. And the beginning was kind of fun, but just kind of. But I still feel always the stress that I want to play now the normal nice games on the computer. I used to like the Yu-Gi-Oh cards always, but I liked more the video games because they are more visual and more fun, and you can do many more things in the video games. Last story short, it didn't change. Not in the second, third, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th grade, also not in the 11th or 12th grade. I always used to play video games. Always. You can tell me like, well, you're an extreme example. Of course, everything, but everything is okay as long as you don't do too much. If you make too much sports, it's too much. That's completely true. My problem is just with video games, or what I was having is, it is so hard to don't do it too much, to enjoy it in the right amount, to don't, how can I say it, to first take care of your priorities, still have enough time for other things, and then also to play video games, because video games shouldn't or won't be your only hobby. Your only hobby, because how can I say it, if your hobby is to make sport, you learn to deal with pain. You learn, you will also involve your body, will get more strong. You will get more confident maybe because of being able to fight other people. You have a stronger community to other people also. You have a useful skill to be able to protect your partner when she get attacked. You know which point I want to make, right? On the other side of video games, well, what skill did I get? The only skill what I get is I have now a nice understanding of computers. I'm able to build computers, but it's not even because of video games. It's just because I didn't have the money to buy the expensive computers, so I was forced to buy graphic cards and CPUs by my own, and to being more able to make it more cheap. And that's the only reason why, and I remember I were hating so much that I needed to get into the topic of computers. I were like, well, I wish I just had rich parents. This was my way of thinking. Long story short, I play too much. Of course, everything in some amount is okay, but I don't see any nice skill what video games can give you. Yes, maybe your brain is working more nice and you can you have a better reaction time and all this. But I wouldn't, the price for video games, what you make in the end of the day, is way higher than just a higher reaction time. I don't feel that I'm a very stupid person. I just feel I'm under involved. I should better have done other things in my childhood than this, because I feel kind of lost being in the work life. I feel kind of lost talking to other people. I just feel like, well, I'm missing something. I didn't do what I were supposed to do. And I still remember those times in which I were in school and I had vacations, and I knew I should do something more hard, like to paint, to draw something, to start some sport. All these are fun activities actually. But I was like, well, to do something more hard than to play video games. Guess what? I always ended up playing games. Not because I wanted so hard to play them, also because my environment made me play them. My brother were like, well, you can play with me Ark Survival Evolved. I remember 3 or 2 times I put my computer away from my room. I how can I say it? I deported my computer from my room somewhere else to just don't use it. And then I bring my computer back and I build it again. So always I had this voice inside of me, I don't want to play anymore. Because I remember after playing for 3 or 4 years, it makes click for me. I have a key moment in which I was like, well, there is no point in playing video games. There is nothing really nice. I don't even feel I'm having so much fun. It's just because I'm doing it, I'm used to it. And I don't gain anything nice from it. I'm not being better in speaking or talking to people. Anyways, long story short, I was trying to be objective. Of course, it's not objective at all, but I just give you my opinion. I mean, how I felt, what I passed through, what I kind of did. It also gave me trouble in dating life, of course. And I just feel if I would have been just a musician, play an instrument, to make some stupid videos on YouTube, I mean, to do something out of my comfort zone, what I don't like to do that much, but I'm still doing it, would have been better for me than what I were doing in the past. Because I feel like my foundation doesn't exist. And if I will ever get a little brother, but chances are zero I will get one, my mother is too old, I would never show him this video game shit. Never ever. In my opinion, if you don't play that much, it's okay. I mean, I know there are people, so many, which are saying like, no, it's not okay. Don't play any video game. I think it's okay. But the problem is to control it, you know? It is hard to control it. I don't know how to explain it to you, but zero chance in my opinion. For me personally, I don't have any chance to control it. But anyways, it is up to you. I think probably you click on this video because you want to stop playing video games. And if you click on this video and you feel you should do it, then better do it. That's all what I can tell to you. I know it's hard. It doesn't supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be hard. Unluckily, I couldn't quit when I was in school. I couldn't quit when I was more young, and I wish I did it. I'm not saying I'm a fool and I'm completely lost. No. Maybe you're asking what did I do to stop it? Well, you don't want to know it. I went to Mexico. That's why I also say it's nice I can speak English. I went to Mexico, fell in love with a Mexican woman, lived in Mexico for 1 year, and this 1 year living in Mexico completely, I mean, it changes me. I mean, I'm still a weird person, not being nice socially and all this stuff, and not being nice telling stories. Probably I'm being so boring for you. I mean, yes, it is how I am. Sometimes I'm being lost talking and all this stuff. I mean, yes, but Mexico changed me in a better way. My parents-in-law, they hate me, so it teach me to be okay, to be hated by other people, because I just used to be okay with all the people like me, and those environments who hate me or who have something against me, I'm avoiding them. I mean, to keep being in the comfort zone. Anyways, I were in Mexico. I didn't want to play video games because I didn't want to make my parents-in-law think I was lazy. But they still were thinking I'm lazy. Doesn't matter what I was doing actually. Mexican parents are actually so hard. They are crazy. I don't like them. I don't hate them. I just think they're sick. That's the thing for another video, but I went to Mexico. That made me change. I hope you don't need to go to Mexico to change yourself, but trust me and believe me when I tell you your environment is your biggest advantage and disadvantage at the same time. Never ever underestimate how much your environment can influence you as a person. It is crazy. And that's actually how I stopped. I just changed my environment. But of course, you don't need to change your environment. You don't need. You just need to stop, change the people maybe which are around you or to influence them. Anyways, now I'm reaching a point which I'm just talking and talking and talking. But I want to keep this video kind of short and meaningful. If you have any questions, ask me questions. If you want that I talk about something other, ask me. I hope you like the video. And even though you didn't like the video, I still love you all. Have a nice day or night.